The FBI is involved. The DOJ is involved. The Pentagon involved. All because 6 Democrats decided to make a video telling our troops to disobey orders from Donald John Quavius Trump, as Keeban A likes to call him. But they trying to call it patriotism. But veterans, generals, and intel officers are calling it something totally different. A setup, a fracture point, if you will. Tonight we're going to break down every single angle. Let's start with where this all started.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Wow. Now, if I had my eyes closed, I would have thought this video was recorded under the previous administration. They didn't record this, though. They didn't say this under Biden. They didn't say this under Obama. They waited until Trump was already back in office. And then told the troops, if you don't like it, don't follow it. That's not a reminder, man. That's a signal. But Stephen Miller, he just said the quiet part out loud. My boy just snapped.
Well, they should be held accountable under the law and under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for a seditious conspiracy against the United States of America. This is completely open and shut, straightforward. What is the motivation? Why would 6 members of Congress, selecting specifically for individuals with a CIA or military background, record a carefully written, carefully produced, slickly edited video messaging directly to members of our clandestine services and our armed forces, telling them to disobey orders from their superiors, telling them that they should individually determine whether an order is legal or illegal and defy it. Individuals who are exercising life and death power. The CIA engages in covert missions all over the world involving life and death decisions. The armed forces launches life-taking missions time and time again. They carry weapons. They control drones. They control missiles. They work on nuclear submarines. For what purpose would you ever deliver this message? As you said, it's to create a color revolution. It is the CIA playbook for trying to foment insurrection from within the military and within the CIA. Look, we saw after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Jesse, members of the armed forces openly celebrating his murder. So think about that for a second. You have people in the armed forces, and it could be a tiny, tiny percentage, but who celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and then now they're getting a message from Kelly and from other members of Congress saying, defy your commanders. Rise up and defy your superiors. That kind of language will get people killed. It endangers our national security. It is dangerously radicalizing. And it has all of the evidence of willfulness and intent. And when they go on TV and they say, well, we can't name what order is illegal, that proves the point. It was never about the law. It was breaking down the chain of command. The Democrat Party is openly engaged every day in trying to tear down democracy, whether it be judges who are binding the president with unlawful orders, releasing violent criminals back onto the street, trying to cement and protect the illegal alien invasion of America, and now fomenting rebellion inside of the ranks of our armed forces and CIA. Yeah.
Now, Stephen Miller, he isn't exaggerating here at all. He's calling this what it looks like, preparation for a color revolution. You don't tell a military to be ready to resist unless you're trying to plant a seed. They're not warning troops about illegal orders. They're conditioning troops to doubt Trump before the next order is given. And he's not the only one calling this destabilization play. I want y'all to watch this.
So I talked to two CIA officers who said that this is a part of a larger hoax, and what they're doing here is they're trying to condition the country to prepare for something bad that's about to happen at the hands of Donald Trump. It's straight out of the CIA playbook. It's a destabilization operation where you get people to mistrust each other. And you do this because she's an analyst. And as an analyst, she would make sure what propaganda operations were successful, which ones weren't. So she knows what works. So the first part of the video, you establish authority. I'm CIA, I'm military, you need to trust us. Second part of the video, they introduce the threat. And the threat's not foreign, the threat's domestic, the threat's Donald Trump. And then at the end, they introduce the solution. What's the solution? You resist, you say no. But they don't give an option. They say this is an obligation for you to do. Now, she is being run because she didn't come up with this herself. She's a Brennan acolyte, and you usually don't have congressmen and senators doing anything together. They kind of hate each other. So in order to organize this had to have had some sort of handler telling her what to do. And it was risky because nothing like this has ever been done in the history of the country. And you can even tell because the media was skeptical and they couldn't answer the question. So they hadn't even been read in on the operation. You see them fumbling and stumbling. And I'm glad that the U.S. military is now investigating this guy, Kelly, because this is what we expect from Donald Trump 2.0. You can't have the deep state interfering with a duly elected presidency and get away with it. You got to draw the line in the sand and you have to make examples out of people.
So a former CIA operations officer says two active agents confirmed it. This is exactly how they prep military for internal division overseas. Step one, create doubt in the commander. Step two, tell the troops they may need to stand up. 3, let confusion do the rest. They didn't teach anything here. They planted suspicion. And the vets who lived real chain of command life, they're seeing the danger instantly.
Since everybody's giving their 2 cents on the seditious 6, I'm going to add in my 2 cents. As a former Navy air traffic controller, let me be clear. Veterans in Congress should never be telling active duty service members which orders to follow and which orders not to follow. That is not their job. What they want to do and what they're trying to do, which we all know, is to plant that little seed of doubt in our service members' minds, especially our junior service members who rely heavily on clear and concise instructions and a clear chain of command. This is a very dangerous and slippery slope. And I think they know that, and that's why they've done what they've done. But they need to go focus on their job in Congress. Are they doing a good job? Probably not. The approval rating is like super low. And let the commander-in-chief focus on giving the orders to our active duty service members and our troops. That is how the chain of command works. They need to learn to respect the uniform, especially if they've worn it. They should know better. They do know better, but they're doing this as a political game, and it's actually really sick. Respect the chain of command, respect the uniform, and focus on your job.
So Ashley breaks it down perfectly. A 19-year-old troop doesn't need soft political hints. They need clarity, or people will get hurt. Saying, follow the Constitution and not a person, and only attaching that statement, to Donald Trump. Yeah, it's not very patriotic. It's patriotic, saying follow the Constitution, not a person. Yeah, it sounds patriotic, but again, they attach that line. When you only attach that line to Donald Trump, it becomes a direct jab at the chain of command. Confusion is in combat. I meant to say confusion in combat is deadly, but I was trying to figure out if I can. My mom was like, could I just get away with it? But no. And if you think she was blunt, wait until you hear a man who carried the nuclear football.
Hey everybody, this is Buzz Patterson. I'm a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, retired Air Force pilot, combat veteran, and at one time I was the military aide to President Bill Clinton and carried the nuclear football and actually lived in the White House. So I've been around. I was actually, during my military service, deployed to 70 countries and fought in 3 wars. So I feel like I've got a dog in this hunt. I am very appalled at what the Sedition 6 has done with their video. I think it's a violation of their oaths of office, and especially in the case of Senator Mark Kelly, I believe it's a violation of the UCMJ, and I hope that President Trump and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth hold them accountable. They are violating, and they are politically using their positions to undercut the command of President Donald J. Trump, and they're circumventing the chain of command. Congress and members of Senate are not in the chain of command. President Trump is, however, as our commander-in-chief. So I fully support going forward with whatever prosecutions are warranted and legitimate, and I think they are on these individuals. They use their positions, military and in the intelligence community, to expose, I think, and put at risk those of us who serve in uniform. I think that what's going to happen is because they violated the military chain of command, people are going to die. They undercut the underpinnings of the military, which is good order and faith and trust in their leadership. And in my estimation, what they did was treasonous and seditionist, and I hope they are prosecuted to the full extent. Again, my name is Buzz Patterson. I served in combat. I've served for 20 years, and I am outraged by what has happened by the Democrats, and I fear for what's going to happen to our young soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines if they choose to violate what is a legal order, which will ruin their lives and ruin their careers. Thank God, guys. God bless. See ya.
Buzz Patterson. He's not some random ex-user. He's literally carried the codes for Clinton. When he calls this treasonous and says people will die, he's speaking from experience. He's not just talking some politics, all right? He's not talking actually, he's talking about the exact moment a soldier hesitates because a politician told him to think twice. That split decision, hesitation, fatal. And a lot of troops haven't forgotten how the same politicians treated them before.
Quick message to everybody on active duty right now in the military. Those 6 Democrats that are urging you over and over again to disobey the lawful orders of the President of the United States, not even a month ago, voted repeatedly, over and over again, over the course of almost 2 months, to keep you from getting paid, to keep food out of your family's mouths, because they saw you as leverage, not people. They do not care about you. Do you understand?
He's right. The same people once used the military as leverage during shutdown fights. Now, suddenly, they're the protectors of the troops' conscience. Troops remember who had their back. This video didn't build trust. It highlighted hypocrisy. And while all this is happening, the information war is messy. It's so messy, even fake clips are getting mixed into the chaos.
They're learning is that Democrats are weak, and that next time we just need to hurt working people and working Americans more to get them to fold.
Now they say this right here is people gonna say it's fake. Now I asked Groke, and then Groke said it's edited. But here's the real danger. Real clips and fake clips are swirling together in the same timeline. Real Sedition accusations, fake AOC edits. Fact check true. AOC's hot mic exposed on November 2. Okay, hold on, wait. Clip from NBC, Meet the Press. Must have been Meet Her Impersonator. Oh man, I don't know what to say about this clip now. I'll just say people can't tell what's real anymore. And when that happens, the military becomes the battlefield for everyone's narratives. The Sedition 6 didn't remind anyone of the law. They escalated a national tension point. So here's where we land. Yes, troops must refuse illegal orders. No, this video was not neutral. If this was about the Constitution, they would have recorded it under every president. They didn't. They waited until Trump, almost into his presidency, and then sent that message straight to the ranks. It's not patriotism. That's preparation. What do you see, though? Now, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write haters will say it's fake. Yeah. I want you, the 4 words. Y'all be safe. Please go check out a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.